you gotta know how to swim. So I got a how-to book on swimming. First page is easy, float. So went to the pool, tried to float. I sank right down to the bottom.
It's at the surface. That's real, you know? And at that moment, it flashed through my head about the journey I had to go through to get to that point, to do that. You have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you gotta open them up.
There's not some easy, lit up, street-like path with nice smooth roads.
That's right.
Where you push yourself and you worked so hard and you pushed everything you had within you. And then you got so close to the finish line. Your legs gave up. You didn't have nothing else left in your legs. You couldn't run a little bit further. You couldn't pedal the bike a little bit faster because you had nothing else left. That's when the grinder must come out. That's when you got to dig a little bit deeper. That's when you got to go out there a little bit harder than you've ever done in your life. So you'll always find yourself starting off on the right path. You start off, you're feeling good, you're running, you're doing everything that you need to do. But it starts to get harder things.
I realized I was negative boy as hell. The more I failed, the more my father's words would creep into my mind about how I'm not good enough. All this other bullshit he said to dehumanize me. As time went on, I started realizing the more I did it quick, the more self-respect I gained. And the power was all mine. In life, it's important to do one thing. Many people will try to dehumanize you. It's up to you to find self-respect, identity in yourself. Don't be a uniform.
Fail, and you're gonna be in your head, you're gonna be saying, I'm not good enough. And it's how you get through that. It's how you get through that on a daily basis when that thing is saying, man, I'm 43, I've done so much. You start to become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money and you start, I'm not getting cold anymore, I'm retired. At 40, people shouldn't be playing basketball or football. Or at 43, I'm still putting 100-mile weeks, still doing thousands of pull-ups, thousands of push-ups, because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized. The worst thing that can happen to a man is become civilized.
Stay home.
You have to first accept it before you can fix it. A lot of people walk around, oh man, I'm good. I'm good. No, you're not. You have to accept what you're not. And people don't want to do that. That's the only way you can fix it. You have to accept it first before you can go on the journey. A lot of folks never even start the journey, man. They never start the journey because they live in this fake life that who they want to be, they act like they are, but they're not because they haven't fixed all this stuff yet. You got to fix this first before we can start our journey in life. So that's why I have them make this list. You fix these problems, now your journey can begin because you no longer care about how people are judging you. When you care more about how someone's judging you, you're going to stay right there. There's no forward momentum.
Do you think you could go the other way and maybe become a bit cold if you don't care what anyone thinks? Your fiance, your kids, you know, those they're not the people around, do you not care what they think?
You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people, period. You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself. I'm big on being with yourself. I want to be forever proud of who I was as a man and change who I used to be. The liar, the insecure guy, the guy who can, whatever. I want to be proud. If I die now, if I die at 80, if I die at 90, 100, I want to look at myself and say, proud of myself. I believe in patience. I'm a patient dude. I can watch a piece of grass grow for 20 years because I know that it's just how you get somewhere in life. By being that monk-like mentality, being able to watch something grow very calmly, patiently. I can't go any faster. We do that to our brain. We put a governor on our brain. The second we feel pain, discomfort, suffering, all those words that we hate to say because we have this happy, peaceful world we live in now.
It's hard to push it back, life starts. To push you back, people start to push it back. Everything around you starts to crumble. You have nothing else left to give. But then you got to find something else. You got to turn on that grind switch. You got to get down and dirty and nasty. If you got to do what necessarily is going to take for you to get what you want. And you got to go out there with everything you got. For every moment that you have, this is the chance to do it. Just keep on grinding.
And along that journey, I figured out myself. The biggest trophy that I ever got in my entire life was me. Was really figuring out me. And when I was up on that stage, I realized that. I realized it's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about being accepted by your peers and everybody else. It's about figuring out who I am and being happy with who I am. Even though I'm going to be judged for all these things, you got to put a middle finger up to everybody and say, this is David Goggins. And to get to that point, it felt great.
I can't stop reading. I won't be able to read tomorrow.
We just ignored it. And it was there for years. So I knew in the back of my mind that I could pull off this whatever. Whatever I wanted, I knew I could. But I was afraid of the work. Because I wasn't gifted with brains. I wasn't gifted with God-given talent as far as athleticism. So I knew to get to where I had to go, to be on the same playing field as these men, to even try out for this program, I knew the work was going to be something that I didn't want to even attack. So I was just putting it off. But yet you did it. Because it haunted me. The voice in my head said, you know what, man? You're going to die never even trying to reach your full potential. I developed a reality that wasn't real. That's the thing we always do. We can have a great life, but we always build this reality around the one thing we don't have.
The moment has come and there will be obstacles that you must face, and for each obstacle it will represent something about you, your greatest victories, your greatest failures, but nevertheless, you must rise above it and you must conquer every obstacle that comes your way. Are you strong enough? Are you willing? Enough for you to know what it takes to do it. Necessary to adapt and overcome. This is the moment that every living person that is at the start line is ready to cross the finish line.
I will lose it that fast. I cannot stop going to the gym. My mind is set up in a spot where, hey, the second I stop, it wants to stop. Because I had a quitting mind growing up. When you get beat all the time, your mind wants to go to that nice spot where you're comfortable, where you're not trying. It doesn't want to think. You have all these things in the mind, and the mind can only absorb so much. So all the pain it has to go through, it wants to push it away, so let's not do that. So every day I'm fighting where the mind wants to go. It's a constant evolution, man. I've never arrived. That's right now, I'm stressing out 2-3 hours. I'm trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm like, oh man, I went through Navy SEAL training. I ran over 7,000 miles in 2007. I did pull-up breakfast. Now that the mind is so strong, that the body catch the mind. So that's now where I'm at. So I'm always trying to reinvent the wheel and see what I'm capable of next.
So therefore, our great life, you don't even see it. We see the one piece of clothing we weren't able to get versus the amazing things we have. So we focus on that. I was the king of focusing on the one bad thing in my life. The one bad person called me nigger. Everything bad, I focused on that. But over here was a beautiful reality of my life. Even though I came from nothing, where I could have taken my mind to the possibilities of where I can go if I work harder. That was all over here, but I lived in the filth over here. This was the life that you were supposed to live, but you didn't try. Just by going to war with myself every day and putting these challenges and these goals and these obstacles, these insurmountable obstacles